All right, so I'm just I'm trying this out. It only took me about an hour to figure out, but I've never tried to do this, and it was incredibly easy. So probably something that I'm going to continue to do. Um, so I mean, I don't really have any objective right now. I'm just kind of messing around. As you can see right now, I'm pretty good at sim blitzing. I've kind of figured it out, and I've got the roster now to kind of take full advantage of my collection power and finish in the like top 2 or 3% on the last blitz, which was that Tech Prodigy blitz. Um, it's a little misleading there, obviously because Tech Prodigy's a character that's been out for a little while. I'm expecting that the totals on Yelena are going to be much higher. But right now, I'm just trying to figure out like what my thresholds are to get in that 2 to 3% rank versus the 4 to 10% rank. It doesn't really make much of a difference for my strategy. I'm just trying to figure out like what I can count on consistently. I can pretty easily get into that 4 to 10% tier, really pretty easily. Um, if I'm blitzing a lot during the 3 day period, you can blitz up to eight times a day, and sim blitz is awesome. You know, I don't really have a big opinion on RTA. I really like it for the theory craft aspect, but sim blitz is really where the thing that I really like right now. So I've got all my teams set up. This is one that I've been playing around a lot with this week in RTA, and it's not even really at full power yet. I'm still working on Dark Dimension 3. Um, I'm in the Cosmic nodes right now. I've got one node left to go for Cosmic, and it's probably going to take me about another week or so if I had to guess, but that's fine because I'm still working on my city heroes. I'm still working on Ms. Marvel, which is definitely going into DD3, and then depending on the timing, I may switch things up and instead of going Spider-Man, go right with Anti-Venom. I've got Spider-Man at max abilities already. I like his value long term. I think eventually there will be a Spider-Verse team down the road. He kind of is a Ronin right now. He doesn't really have a team. Kind of connects with the Spider-Verse people, but he doesn't really have his own team. He's kind of a difficult. I wouldn't say difficult, but it's a challenge to find the right spot for him in my Blitz roster. When we come across him, we'll see where I've got him right now. I don't think I have him in an ideal spot, but anyway, here's this Ultimus. Basically the big three Kree, and then Shatterstar and Longshot, which I don't think people were super hyped about just because they're kind of obscure characters, but I really like their kits. I really see how they can work with Kree and with Inhumans. I've gone pretty big on Inhumans, so they just made sense for me to get up to speed really quickly. I'm going to see. I don't know. It's tough to say what my strategy is after this first round of DD3. I really need to see what my rewards are first before I kind of go down a path. I have some ideas. I've been looking at it pretty closely lately with some different Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that. I think I've got a plan, and more to come on that. So anyway, we're gonna run through a real quick blitz run here. Not even really. I don't even care about who I'm going against. As you can see, punching across, they lost no health. I mean, this team's just. I'm really excited about this team long term, especially when I get Ultimus up to 3 red stars. Black Order, I did not go very hard on them early on. I guess probably right after that release is when I really started getting into this a little bit more. With the pandemic, I've had a lot more free time on my hands. This game's kind of what I've been doing for entertainment. And I had been mostly a free-to-play player for a long time, but I've started buying character shards and basically character shards. Character shards is what I probably like the most. I just like the freedom that provides, but I'm getting to the point now where I can kind of shift downstream. I've been doing, the introductory offers, but I don't unlock them right away. Like, I feel weird about showing people that I'm spending money on this game, especially in my alliance where there's a good mix of hardcore and free-to-play players. But I usually wait and unlock characters when they're available through Blitz or reasonably through an event. It's just kind of my way to rationalize and everything. But anyway, my Black Order's pretty middle of the road. Nothing special about them. I haven't ignored them, but their materials are used for a lot of other characters that I like a lot more. So like Call Obsidian, he uses Luminium, I think is how you pronounce it, and that is used by Crystal, who I already have at level 14 with 6 red stars. So I mean, she's probably going to get that material for me, at least in the interim, until they remove the unique material roadblock. And then Beast is the other one that I'm kind of working on building up, and I just like both of those characters more than Call Obsidian. Recently got Maw. I didn't get him until I think his 3rd pass through, and I just haven't been using him a ton. I've been using him a little bit in ward defense. My ward defense might not be optimized. I actually just got Mr. Sinister up to gear 14 today, so I need to reevaluate that a little bit. But yeah, Mr. Sinister is going to be fun. He's definitely a target for my next round of T4s. I'd like to get that clone ability up, and then I forget what his passive is, but I know his passive's good. I think it provides boosts to the Marauders, and I'm really kind of looking heavily into Emma Frost also. So yeah. Of the 4. Oh, and Proxima, she uses Gravitonium, and I, without a doubt, will be using that Gravitonium on Longshot and Shatterstar. Corvus, right now, I think he's one of the few, if not the only, champion that uses the Tesseract energy. I could be wrong. Maybe he's just the only one that's on my radar, but there's not really a whole lot of competition for that material on my roster, so he's an outside shot for my DD4 team, but I'm not going very heavy on Black Order. I don't really like going all in on teams. That's just the way I play. So anyway, we'll see how this does. I mean, I'm not even going to flip through the teams here. I'm just taking the first one, and I really like this about Sim Blitz, looking at how the health plays out, and I really think that you're basically getting real-time feedback, and then can feed that back into your save squads and basically blitz better. It's really cool. I mean, it's kind of what people used to do with, I after a while just would do blitz on auto. I mean, I have been for a long time, really. And I just think this is a really cool feature. Like, there are so many different ways to play this game, and this is just the one that I'm enjoying the most right now. Big on my Uncanny X-Men. I like Wolverine. I know people don't really like him, but I just think maybe that for like an early to mid game player, just Uncanny's just not really fleshed out fully for them, probably. But I think this is a really pretty good raid team, probably. I haven't played a ton with Beast or Cyclops, just kind of been doing that lately. But Yeah, I like this team, and I'm excited for the Astonishing X-Men to come out. Kitty Pryde, her introductory offers came out today. Did purchase that for $25, and got a little over 100 shards out of that. So that's going to get me a 3-star before the Blitz, and that's a really good position for me to be in. Typically, with being in the top 10% in Blitz, up to the top 3%, I can usually get about 66 to 76 shards out of those events, and there's 2 of them. So what's that math? I wrote it down earlier. So that nets me about 132 to 152 shards after the 2 events. So paired with the 100 that I already have would put me at about 250, and I only need 180 for a 4-star, which is what I'm targeting her for. And I got it already, or I will be able to easily get it down the road. So I'm still trying to determine what's the most cost-effective way to get these new characters. Definitely will be shifting downstream, but for right now, I don't really mind, paying that $25 and getting the flexibility to kind of have the character up to a reasonable usage level, close after unlocking the character. So I'm picking the hardest one here, and it's probably this power armor. I just want to see how they do. So obviously 1. So Colossus, they're Colossus and Wolverine just holding down the fort. I mean, both of those guys are hard to kill. Obviously Cyclops and Beast are underdeveloped at this point. My Phoenix is also really strong. It's also kind of misleading because it shows Phoenix is dead, but that doesn't necessarily mean she died. It just means that she went to Dark Phoenix mode, and that's where she's most powerful anyway. So this one as expected. Inhumans are probably another team that I went really, really big on. I love Black Bolt, and I think the rest of the team is fairly good. I had been using Ms. Marvel on this team for a really long time. I like Ms. Marvel a lot. I see how she's going to kind of be a big utility character. And I just like her from the comics. I know the TV shows coming down the road, and I just like her. I tend to like, especially early in the game, I loved hero brawlers. So I mean, that was kind of where I came up. Daredevil and Spider-Man are big on my roster. Just 2 characters that I like. They have max abilities. My Daredevil is actually 6 red stars, which I pulled. That was one of my first 6 red stars. So yeah, I just like them a lot. And I think Ms. Marvel matches up with them really well. I think there are going to be trios of Inhumans that I think are going to be really interesting for Shatterstar and Longshot, and I definitely think Ms. Marvel fits in there somewhere. I'm going to have to take those off, little banner things. Sorry, T-Cell. I'll take a look later at what you sent me. So anyway, yeah, I mean, with this team, I can pretty much take on anybody. Let's just see how this goes. I'm not really worried about anything here. Yeah, see again, a slight punch up, and I've got it's not even fair. I'm also down. Normally I'm up in that 4x tier 8. Did I just use this? I wasn't paying attention. I must have just used it real quick out of habit. Anyway, big on the Marauders right now. I think Emma and Sinister are definitely probably in the top 15 right now. at least for me. I mean, I'm sure some have her a lot higher, but I still got a lot of work to do on Sinister. He kind of came into the game kind of before I was when I was more of a casual player, and I just missed him. And he seems like a really popular character for DD4 right now. And I just think that clone ability is going to be really fun once I start to play with him. And the clone ability that I need to upgrade always gets the clones at a power level higher than whatever he's at. So I think if I do that, I think it's just going to scale really well. He's kind of a future-proof character, being able to clone any other character, which is just kind of awesome. I haven't even played really with him yet to fully, understand his kit and everything, but it's definitely going to be fun. And then Emma is she's a beast. That little mind control thing that she does where other toons on the enemy team attack themselves, it's like a bomb. It works really well. So those are two characters that I'm targeting for DD4. Right now I'm probably targeting Sinister a little bit more than Emma, just because I can get Sinister up to 7 stars through the War Store, which I will be doing as soon as I finish off Sif. I need Sif and Hela at 7 stars in order to get Black Bolt, and then when I have Black Bolt at 7 stars, I'll be getting Karnak up to 7 stars. He's at 6 right now. And then I'll have Ebony Maw at 7 stars. So, yeah, that section of the roster is really coming together right now. Kind of a late mid roster kind of going on right now. I'm not really worried about getting into and completing DD4, as quickly as possible. I'm trying to do things that are smart for my roster and, can make it so that I can enjoy the game. So yeah, but they're beasts. I can win most matchups without looking. One thing that I have noticed probably lately, I've been paying attention more to how they match up with the symbiotes, and I have a little bit of trouble there. I think I haven't done like any play testing or anything to figure out exactly why that happens. I mean, for obvious reasons, but yeah, that's just one matchup that I'm looking not to take. Just unlocked Doc Ock the other day, so I haven't even really put any materials into him yet. I'm not even gonna bother. Doing this yet at the moment, just because I haven't done anything. It's kind of a weird mismatch thing. Like I might come away with a win. Let's just look. So basically I'm saying, okay, can my 4 beat somebody else's 4? And it's just not worth it to me. Especially those Sinister 6 aren't anything special, but just unlocked Doc Ock. I'm excited to build him, but not super excited because, at least right now, he takes titanium alloy, and there are just other characters right now that I like a lot more that take titanium alloy. I've gone big on Colossus and Yo-Yo for protectors, and beyond that, who else takes titanium? I think Cyclops takes titanium alloy. So obviously I'm trying to build up that uncanny squad. And then, Red Guardian takes that material too. So it kind of sucks because I got, Red Guardian and Doc at the same time. And not that I'm near using those materials, but it just kind of sucks that there's so much in that category to like. It'll work out long term, but right now it's like, okay, who do I prioritize? Here's my symbiotes. They can beat any of these teams. Just try the hardest one just for the hell of it. And no problem. No problem whatsoever. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four was one that when it came out, like I wasn't into buying offers when they came out, but it was one that I concentrated on really, really hard. I leveled up all my symbiote, or not symbiotes. I leveled up all my Sinister Six. Am I saying that right, or was it symbiotes? Or no, I think Invisible Woman was Sinister Six. So I had leveled up my Sinister Six to get her to 7 stars really quick. Johnny, I don't remember how Johnny was. Was Johnny in the Blitz store, maybe? Johnny might have been in the Blitz store. Maybe Thing was in Arena. I don't remember how these came out, but long story short, the thing that's been holding me up a little bit has been Reed, Mr. Fantastic, and now that I don't know, it's tough because there's been bio is a really crowded category, and there's just been bio characters, especially with the symbiotes coming out, that I've liked more, and just haven't prioritized them. He's really close to G13, and I will probably take him there when I get my DD3 rewards for the first run, just to kind of scale him up and get him to the proper level to work a little bit better with this team. But I pulled 6 red stars on Thing, I think, before I even unlocked him, and which was awesome for me because I really like that character, in the comics. So I've just gone pretty hard on him. He's got his abilities all maxed out right now. He's at gear tier 13, but I definitely will be taking him to 14. He'll probably be, him and Yo-Yo will be my first 14s after I finish DD3, or bios anyway. And yeah, I just really like him. He's definitely a heavy hitter. He's not very nuanced. It's just damage. But I think that's going to be big damage down the road. He's probably the single heaviest hitter in the game, I think. So anyway, I really like this team long term. I'm not sure, Namor fits. They've made him work, but that's more of a war offense team. I've experimented with doing this team with She-Hulk, and it just doesn't perform as well. My She-Hulk's not nearly as good as my Namor. I kind of went heavy on Namor. Didn't really regret it. I definitely get the war value out of it, but right now I'm wishing that I had used that Prometheum for him on Juggernaut. Juggernaut is a character that kind of fell off my radar, but with RTA has really come back on my radar. I got I don't think I had seen before RTA. I hadn't really gone actively against a 5 red star Juggernaut that was more offensive than defensive. And man, there's one that just sticks out in my head. I remember, I kind of think I had my arena offense team. So I had Phoenix, Ultron, Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, and Crystal. And I remember just being at full health and him just going through, and I think maybe it was a Brotherhood team, probably a new Brotherhood team, but either way, I had full health going into, it might have even been the second wave of Magneto's blind, or no, I guess it was after all the Magneto blinds, but I had full health when I was able to use my turns. And then Juggernaut used his ultimate and just floored me, just absolutely crushed me. But this is a team I'm big on long term. Easily won that. So I pulled Magneto at 6 red stars. He was actually my first 6 red star, if I remember correctly. And I know for sure I got him at 6 red star long before I had that character, so it kind of incentivized me to build him up quick. Seed theory there. But anyway, I have not focused on the new wave of Brotherhood that heavily. Just have had other mutant priorities. Blob seems really powerful at high levels, so he's somebody that I'm not going to sleep on. But I kind of like the OG Brotherhood team, and I think that scales a little bit better with Marauders. So I've kind of slept on them for a while. They were big for me during Dark Dimension 2. I had all of them, at G13. No abilities other than Magneto's, I think, at the time, and that worked really well as a good DD2 team. But yeah, just have had different priorities lately. So Young Avengers is one that I'm just starting to utilize. I had used Ms. Marvel on Inhumans for a really long time, and now that I've built Quake up a little bit, I can replace her on that Inhumans team and bring Ms. Marvel over to the Young Avengers. I had kind of built up Miles from his synergy with the Spider-Verse characters. I have a decent Spider-Man, so it just kind of made sense. But like I mean, I know who Squirrel Girl and I wanted to say America Ferrera, but that's not right. America Chavez. Like, I mean, I know those characters. I don't like those characters. They could have done better, better Young Avengers. I would have liked to see Sam Alexander's Nova. You could have done Spider-Gwen, which I still think that they'll probably do down the road. But this serves its purpose. My Guardians have fallen out of meta a little bit. I haven't really been leveling them up really since about DD2. And this just finds a home for Gamora. So this serves its purpose, and it actually punches up pretty decently. If I would get Squirrel Girl and America Chavez up higher, this team would be a lot better. It would probably be. I mean, right now I've kind of got it in the middle of mine. Yeah, pretty much in the middle of my order, but it could probably move up in my order if I got those two characters more up and running. So I'm in that tier 8, so that the battles are going to start getting a little bit harder. I don't love any of these. I don't think I'm going to mess with that at the moment. I don't think I'm going to mess with Avengers. Avengers are kind of a tricky team, and I'm still working on... I've been working lately on Black Widow and Hawkeye. I think they are very real possibilities for me for DD4, just because of their cost. And I'm not really high on any of the other global skill champions. So, I mean, I'm probably going to go Fury. I know a lot of people are going Zemo, which I could be swayed. I'm kind of trying not to invest any more in Fury right now until I get through DD3. Although he's at least going to go up to gear tier 14 for me, probably. But yeah, anyway, I also got really, I mean, this was probably before I knew what I was doing. I got really bad red stars. And it might have even been before, early on in the red star process, but I just didn't get good red stars on my Avengers, and they just kind of... I actually think this is by design. This was before the Avengers had been reworked. I think that they did that to kind of keep them lower leveled. And, now with the rework, they're a lot better. But yeah, I need to get a fourth red star on Hawkeye and Hulk. I am prioritizing Hawkeye right now. Hawkeye will probably be my next 4-star, but I have lots of people that I want to take to 5 stars, so I'm really not sure what my strategy is at this point. But yeah, I'm kind of playing with the idea of kind of a Wave 1 Avengers entry into DD4. My Thor is pretty good. And Asgardians have fallen off a little bit. I definitely think that I'm going to eventually get... Oh no, Thor is on this team. Yeah, so I don't really use the Asgardian team in Blitz anymore. They've kind of fallen off for me. They're definitely more of a war team. and they have lots of counters these days. So I don't want to sleep on them because they're going to come back around. At some point, they're going to release Odin, or they're going to do Valkyrie, or something like that, and they're going to come back around in fashion. But for right now, I am going to kind of try to bring my Avengers back together. I have Iron Man at gear tier 14. I don't love him. I recently got him to 4 stars, just mainly because he's a legendary character, and I think he's gonna fit into my long-term plan. I'm kind of doing the Fury umbrella of Avengers and Shield, and gonna have some interesting combinations there. So I just think Fury makes sense. I haven't really done any of the Shield minions above about level 50. So they aren't useful to me anymore, except for I kind of have them paired up with Coulson right now, which makes sense because Coulson's just at a higher level. I think long term I'm going to kind of go like a Mafia route and kind of have, the boss, the capo, the lieutenant, and kind of build my roster that way. And for right now, they're doing some interesting things to kind of get you to invest in minions right now, but I'm just not really interested in minions. Really, the only one is the Hydra grenade guy. I don't know how you pronounce that. Grenadier. I don't know. So yeah, he's one that I'm kind of considering, just because he works really well with Zemo. But I just don't want to spend resources on minions, really. I still have some that I haven't maxed out yet. Yeah. Anyway, this is kind of a fickle team. This is a much better one to look at. This is going to win no problem. So Pimtac just came out fairly recently. Lots of people are taking Ghost into DD4. She's somebody that I don't want to sleep on. I may or may not have bought shards for her earlier this week, and don't necessarily regret it, but she is going to become fountainable in the War Store, so it was just kind of money that I didn't really necessarily need to spend. I probably needed to buy the offers for stature today to fully utilize that, or fully maximize that value in all of them. And I'm kind of disappointed because stature's an RTA requirement for me a lot. It probably would have made sense just to bite the bullet and get her up to a little bit higher level. Also sucks because now I probably won't get Jubilee first round, but I haven't got any legendary, I don't think, for the first round. Maybe one down the line, but I can't really think of who it would have been. Maybe I got Fury the first time at a low star level or something. Anyway, I think these guys are probably my next lower level team that I want to concentrate on, because they do feed that Jubilee legendary event, and like I said, I'm going hard on Uncanny and Astonishing X-Men, so this is definitely a team that I'm going to have to level up and get to 7 stars at some point if I want Jubilee at 7 stars. But the added benefit to that is that this is the premier team for Dark Dimension, and it'll be a long time before I have them where they would need to be to compete in a Dark Dimension, but the prospect of that down the road sounds really interesting. So this is a team that I'm not going to sleep on. Definitely makes my decision on what to do from here with Black Bolt more difficult. I am probably ignoring Ghost in terms of my DD4 strategy, but we'll see by the time I get there. Right now, I'd much rather have a G15 Black Bolt than Ghost just for Dark Dimension, just because our team's not there yet. It just doesn't make sense for me the way I'm playing the game, but I don't want to sleep on this team. I already had Ant-Man and Wasp maxed out when the other 3 came out, so eventually this is going to turn into a decent team. I liked Ant-Man kind of as a solo character early on in the game. He really kind of fell off. He didn't really have a good fit, I don't think, on any of the Avengers teams. So now that he has his own team, I'm sure this team's fine. I haven't really played with them a ton, especially the new 3. But they're pretty good in Blitz, so this is going to win easy. power armor. Again, I just recently got a 4th red star on Iron Man. Again, my Avengers were just really, really suffering. I didn't have more than 3 stars on all of them, but Captain America, somewhere along the line, I pulled 5 red stars, but the rest were at 3. And it's just been tough because I haven't really wanted to invest any T4s there. That said, I am really interested to do the passives for Black Widow and Hawkeye. I think that's going to work really well, and obviously we'll have to do some work on them before DD4. But power armor, I do like War Machine also, and these guys work. These guys work well. It's a good war offense team. You know, you can kind of go in there and just blow some people up and not really have to think about the matchup, as long as it's not something that, you know, would have like a bunch of offense down or something like that. But yeah, I just recently needed to build these guys up a little bit to finish off the Doom Chapter 3 Mission 7 to get the what unique parts were those? I think it was the parts for must be the parts for tech. So I needed to beat that node, and I kind of started leveling up power armor, but I ended up using a different team. I think I ended up using like I think Doctor Strange, Rocket. I think I used Iron Man and Iron Man and War Machine, just because they're I can't think of the I can't think of what the thing's called, because they don't die easily. And then I don't remember who the 5th was. The 5th was probably either Rescue or Falcon. I either used the speed up with Falcon or the defense from Rescue. And I eventually got through the node. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. I have not beat Doom 3.8 or 3.9 yet. I haven't really attempted them though. I kind of just needed to get the G14 unique ability to farm that character or that material, and then I kind of just moved on to other stuff. But these guys will win easy here. So I'm using. I don't mind this team because I liked Crossbones early in the game, and I think I'm gonna kind of get back into him. I need somebody that's a villain tech that I like to match up with, or kind of mesh with Ultron. I kind of have Ultron by himself and don't really have like I don't have his own team for him yet. I've used him really well in both arena offense and defense. Mine for a really long time has been Phoenix, Ultron, Black Bolt, Crystal, and Yo-Yo, and it is scaled really well with Black Order. I can punch across, maybe, or punch slightly down to punch across on most Black Order now. I've just kind of figured out, you know, what works on them with that team. That's the only team I've really figured out how to do it yet, but it's worked for me about probably 30-40% of the time, so I haven't really worked on trying to find another option. I've just been focusing on that. There's an outside chance that I'm going to say screw DD4 and try to boost my arena team. And after completing DD3, if the resources work out, I might do Phoenix and Black Bolt right off the bat, just to, you know, get the advantage of them in my arena team. And I'd really like to do Ultron long term. I know he's got 5 G15 nodes, but he is definitely one that he's going to be my global tech character. I'm not really interested in any other tech in global other than the legendaries and Shuri and Iron Man, and I'm not really targeting them for DD4. We'll see. I mean, there's still a lot to go. But this is a pretty good Blitz team. Zemo is really frustrating in modes like RTA. Yeah, I mean, if you were starting the game today and could get Zemo I don't know how that would work out these days. I guess you probably missed your opportunity for right now. He was part of the Battle Pass last month. But yeah, he's a good character. And again, I don't really feel like focusing on Hydra, but I already had Winter Soldier built up a good way. I had Crossbones. I just recently took him to Gear Tier 12 within the last day or so. Kind of just seeing where he falls into the pecking order. Going into Dark Dimension 4, I haven't used any of his unique material, which is the Carbidium. I forget how you pronounce it. I can't really picture how the word's spelled, but whatever the material is that's shared with Star-Lord, Luke Cage, and there's one other, and Falcon. So there's, I'm kind of getting to the point where I've got 4 champions and a lot of the uniques that I have to focus on, and I'm kind of trying to pick 2 of 4 whenever I'm presented with 4, and of those 2 I'd probably go Crossbones and Falcon right now. Lots of tough decisions with Titanium Alloy and Ballistic Weave for me. That's going to be tough. Like, I don't really know. My Thing's really powerful, and my Sinister and Frost are up and coming, and I haven't really used them a ton yet. So I'm kind of trying to buy time a little bit to see what I think about them. So I'm thinking that Thing will probably be my first DD4 character using those pieces. Again, with 6 red stars, the way Thing can hit, if I can find the right team for him, which I kind of think I have, I think it's going to work out really well. And then Kingpin's kind of just a floater. I've experimented with different things on this team. I've used Namor in the Kingpin spot. That's more of a war offense strategy, just using Namor to take off all the buffs from all the Hydra minions when you fight Red Skull, which is pretty effective. I think it's probably changed a little bit now. For a while, it was kind of overkill. I just didn't really need him to get the job done, especially on lower level Red Skulls teams. It's, people have built that team up a lot now. I can't always use this team in war, and I'm fine with that. I don't love them. I think Zima is a good solo character. I think Crossbones is a good early game character, but beyond that, I'm not really looking to scale this team up other than a couple of the pieces. Again, that Hydra minion worked really well with Zemo, but I'm just not interested in scaling those up. At some point, again, that Hydra Grenadier, I don't know how you pronounce that word. Anyway, that's going to be probably the only minion that I'm interested in taking kind of to the next level. As you can see there, the more I scale the major villains, the less that's going to hold up. So I don't know, we'll see. But again, it's a good war team on offense, and it's a good Blitz team. It's a good Zima's a good RTA character, a really annoying RTA character. So this wins most of the time. Damn, what the hell happened there? Oh, that was a 100k punch up. I wasn't paying attention to that. If I had noticed that, I would not have attempted that. Again, that minion's just way too strong for something like that. So that reset my tier. Let's see if I can go back and get some of these others. So when you drop down, I kind of go back to teams that I didn't think would have won the round before. This is still tough. They might be able to take this team. I'm not sure I want to find out. That Iron Fist is... Nope, there's too much firepower. I mean, that Daredevil would hit pretty hard. That Captain Marvel would hit really hard. Captain Marvel could probably take out Widow or Hawkeye. on her first turn, so I'm just not messing with that one. Kind of going with the other Hydra team. Like, I'm just not interested in scaling minions. I mean, this is a good war defense team. It's very frustrating. I'd rather work on the offensive counter to this and my Inhumans than work on this war team. I'm not big on the war teams. I don't think I'm to that point in the game yet. But if I were to go with one, this might be the one I go with. But Shield would probably make more sense for my roster. And I don't know how Hydra fits into the bigger picture yet. I'm sure that'll all work out down the road, but at this point, I'm just not really interested in taking them any higher than they are. And Blitz at this level, it works perfectly fine. This is, probably wins more than 90% of the time. So I'm perfectly happy with this team just as it is. I'm not really, again, bio is a crowded category. I'm not really interested in scaling. Red Skull right now. He has the same unique material as Zemo does, who also has the same material as Fury. So I'm trying to see kind of what shakes out there, but I'm almost positive I'm going to use the stuff on Fury. I think I've already done like his unique node for G14, so that's not really in factoring into the equation. But again, lots of people seem to be using Zemo through DD4, so if there was one of the two Hydra bosses to focus on, I would be focusing on Zemo. But again, this is going to win no problem. Although it would probably not win against that Black Order, but it would win against this team. City needs a rework all over. There's probably a Defenders rework coming. I've heard rumors about Moon Knight coming, which I think would be really interesting. You could kind of do a Marvel Knights team down the road, if not immediately. And other than, I just need some other things besides bio and city. Everybody's going to be focusing really, really hard on symbiotes. City just needs some other stuff going on, and they don't have a whole lot. So Moon Knight would work well. He'd probably be a Mystic character, which would work well just because the only other Mystic character that I'm really considering in City is Ghost Rider. I'm pretty close to getting Ghost Rider up to 7 stars, so he'll be a tune that I start focusing on here in the near term, depending on how all the DD Dark Dimension stuff pans out. It's yet to be seen how that's going to be. So yeah, we'll just do this one. It's going to win easy. So we've got the Supernatural team. So I like Doctor Strange. I like Ghost Rider. I don't really like Baron Mordo. Or I guess they just call him Mordo in this game. But he's useful. He's got a good kit. It's just not the way I like to play. I guess I probably have more of a brawler style, more than a controller style. That's maybe something that's going to change down the line, but for right now, it's just not really fun for me to at least play with these characters at the level that are at. I was the same way with Loki. Didn't really spend very much time on Loki. Again, these can all come back around depending on what they do in the future. So there's probably some other supernatural characters that you could have in there, obviously. But yeah, this team's on the cusp of probably falling out of meta for me. I probably need to finish getting Elsa up to 7 stars along with Ghost Rider. And yeah, that Elsa, she needs a lot of work. Not a lot of work, but she needs to be scaled up to the rest of this team. This team would probably do a little bit better if that were the case. But fighting against Defenders really doesn't really scare me with any team. I feel like almost any team at a high enough power level can take on, an equal and equal defenders. Here we've got a little bit of a punch up. It's going to be about a 50, 60,000 K punch up. I don't think this is going to be a problem, but we'll see. Yeah. I'm not big on X-Force. I liked Deadpool early on in the game. I got 6 stars on Cable, and for a long time I just haven't really done anything with them. It was disappointing that I wasn't really utilizing a 6-star character, but there just were other mutant characters that I liked more, and there were other characters that used Palladium that I liked more. I've gone decently hard on Daredevil and Magneto, and right now I'd much rather give those materials to those two. Palladium's it's probably the widest material for me. By that I mean there's probably 6 people I'm considering with that. Doctor Strange is also another one using that material. So I don't know. That's tough right now. I'm definitely big on Magneto. I actually did something that I wasn't sure if I was going to regret or not, and I built I built the Magneto helmet that he needs for Gear Tier 15 already, just because I had the Palladium. I think I bought a couple offers around Black Friday and got some of those Gear 13, 14 unique pieces, and just was like, okay, I have Magneto at 6 red stars. He's definitely going to be a character that I'm focused on long term, and I've just haven't really been sharing that material lately. And like I said, I had been working on Daredevil. I worked on Rocket a little bit, worked on Strange a little bit, and Cable just fell down in the pecking order. This is a pretty good Blitz team. It's pretty good. From what I understand, it's a really good war team. I haven't really seen any of that myself, just because I don't have this scaled up enough to use, but it's one I would be interested in long term. But more than likely, I'll probably just pull X-23 off this team at some point. I think they'll get other X-Force members in there. There'll be something with this long term. They made a point of making X-23 an X-Men character for some reason. I don't know exactly how that's going to shake out yet, but that intrigues me. She's got a pretty good kit. She'll just work with other characters that I've built, but I'm not ready to focus on her yet. I also think she takes adamantium, and I will be spending that on Ultron, probably on Hawkeye, and then probably on Wolverine. So it's going to be a little while before I really do anything with her. But this against the right team, this is kind of another one that for me is kind of on the cusp of what works. Just because it's not, I just need to scale this team up. Only thing on this that really scares me is that Iron Man. Cap is going to be frustrating, but not really dealing enough damage. And I don't know. Deadpool could take out my lower characters probably pretty easy. What else we got here? That's the option I like best. Let's see what else I got. So I had been trying to find a different home for Fury. And I will long term, because I haven't focused on any of these minions. But this is working for me right now. Against this Defenders team, it's going to win really easily. Let's see if this got any better. I'll take that. My job is cool, but I hate working a 9 to 5. I come home and question if I really feel alive. Would it be better if I died? I mean, I died inside. I just want my dream so much, man, I can't describe. I'm only scratching the surface. To get to the top, there's things I've gotta give up. They told me passion makes diamonds, yeah. So, I'm not sure about this one. This is one that I've recently kind of put together in the last week or so. Nothing special. It works probably about 50% of the time. I had been using all of my lowest characters, so the Ravagers I had been using with Ultron, and especially at these lower levels, or at the end of my save squad order, or priority order, I guess. It just was working really well. If I dropped down a tier or whatever, they were usually the first one that I could use for the .1s. I don't pay attention to that a lot. I usually just kind of look at the matchup, but I'm starting to get more strategic with stuff like that. I think it's going to be able to beat this. We'll just see. Yeah, no problem. Lost Star-Lord. Star-Lord's one that, like, I just never really got at the right time. And, you know, with Guardians falling off, he's somebody that I've kind of let sleep a little bit. Really all the Guardians, and I need to not go crazy, but I need to scale everybody up a little bit. I think I'd get better use out of them then. But yeah, I mean, Star-Lord's a legendary character. He's going to be somebody that I'm probably focusing on. I kind of have like a legendary strategy where I want like a legendary character, somebody they work really well with, you know, either like a healer or some kind of a protector. And then basically I'm just looking at my roster at a high level in groups of 2s and 3s, and I'm basically just looking to see like what combinations make sense. And that's why I really like RTA. I think that's why that game mode is going to make sense. I think people, especially like early game players, like just don't really realize what it's meant for. And I can see where it would be really frustrating to somebody with a small roster. And some of the matchmaking has been suspect. I feel like some of that's been worked out, and I feel like if you're using the teams that they give you to for your objectives, I feel like your matchmaking's a lot better. We'll maybe look at that here in a minute, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this will probably. Oh, I guess I fought with that one already. So this one I'm not going to fight with. Yelena's kind of just a placeholder there. I wailed on Red Guardian a little bit. I just see his value long term. You know, I think he could be a potential protector for Dr. Doom when eventually I get him out of Dark Dimension 4. And I think where Red Guardian fits into my roster is I think he's going to help me bridge the gap between some of my out of meta teams. So like I think Red Guardian's going to match up well right there with you know, obviously Punisher, who I've got pretty high. He'll fit into that skill military team, and then obviously Daredevil and Punisher work really well together. I think Red Guardian could also work with Wakandans. You know, I have a good Black Panther and Shuri, and I actually think that Killmonger is actually a very underrated raider. He's not one that I've really ever cared to focus on, but he's one that I'm trying not to sleep on. He's still kind of low priority to me. He's not really in my... I would say he's probably outside of my top 40 or 50, but he's somebody that I don't want to lose track of. So I'm not going to fight this one. Again, it would basically be 4-on-4, and especially with this one that I'm looking at, like that Captain Marvel's insane. I do not want to fight that, so I'm just skipping this one. Sinister 6. I don't really know what to do with these extras right now. This is kind of a hybrid team that I'm not really sure if it's not going to work at this level. I'm not using that to fight this other team. I don't think there are any better options. Maybe that one. Actually, that one. I don't know, they got a lot of defense, but they don't have a whole lot of offense. Plus, Namor I moved back to Fantastic Four, so I need to find a different fill-in here. I mean, we can do this just to fuck shit up, but I don't know, I kind of just want to see how this happens. Nope. Yeah, so I mean, this one, I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with something better here. I'm not sure what it is. I'm kind of to the point too where, I mean, some of the characters I just don't want to focus on anymore. So I don't know. And then we're back to start. And then, so right now at the bottom of my list, I've got these hybrid teams, and these are basically, this is what I'm probably going to use for the start of my second wave of DD3. Phoenix is pretty much a must-have for DD3. I pulled 6 stars on her, so she was just somebody that I knew I was going to be working on. Actually, I did not pull 6 stars on her. I think I pulled 5. And I think I've used a promo on her to get her up to 6, which I don't regret, but I don't know that I'm going to use any 7s. I was kind of thinking a while about using a 7 on Phoenix or Black Bolt, but I think I'd rather just have another 6. Maybe a symbiote Spider-Man, or I don't know, somebody else. There's something else that I can use other than making her overpowerful. That said, I am going to be focusing on Uncanny X-Men. So I don't know. I'm kind of sitting on a couple gold promos right now. I think I've got about 80, so I'd need 100 to really do anything with it, the 6 or 7 red star level. The Wakandan event, Chaos Theories, coming up probably sometime in the next couple weeks. There is an outside chance I'll be able to get, I always screw up her name, Okoye. I think I may be able to get her up to 7 stars and fully maximize that event. But even if I don't, I'm still getting pretty decent rewards out of that. I just would like to I haven't hit that 7-star tier yet, and I'd like to get the first time rewards for that if I can. Those are really, really good. And then, I don't really know how I would use those, but a symbiote Spider-Man would be in the conversation. We can take a look at my roster here in a second. This is my current DD4 Cosmic. I'm on the last, DD3 Cosmic. I'm currently on the last node. And this is a pretty good team. I recently added Minerva. I did have Karnak in that position before. I've gone big on the Inhumans. I might regret going Karnak all the way up to 14, but I don't know. This is working well. It's been a pretty good cosmic team. I think really the only thing that I might do for this on the second wave through is I'll probably add Thanos and Maw, which I haven't decided if I'm probably gonna take Maw to legendary. Is my legendary and DD4 one of them? My Mystic legendary. But I don't feel good about it. I just haven't really focused on Black Order. I don't have any T4s on any of the Black Order or Thanos. And I'm not going to catch other people using them, not right now. So I think I'm just going to kind of scale them up naturally. I think I've got a good war offense team that can kind of hold its own against Black Order. I'm kind of trying now to look for the next thing that can beat them, and where I think that one of the teams that might be a contender is that Kree X Factor hybrid team, or something like that. Maybe even Fantastic Four. But there's going to be a better counter. I'm just not going Black Order. It's just their team. They don't really fit anywhere else. I mean, it's an arena team. It works well, when you need it to, in other modes. I mean, it's a good team. Don't get me wrong, but when that team came out, I just decided that was not the strategy that I wanted to do. I went really heavy on Inhumans, kind of to protect against that. But I just knew that, especially with kind of how they were released, I remember having a really hard time even unlocking Call Obsidian. It took me a long time. I actually had to buy shards through the regular store. I think at like 450 cores, which is insane for 5 shards. But I needed, I think, probably like 15. I was probably like 15 short, and that was just the way that I bought them. That's the only time I think I've ever used that strategy. I don't really even ever pay attention to that tier in the store. It's just always so overpriced, and that's just not how I play. But I get it if you're buying stuff from there. I have before. And then this last one, this is what I'm thinking about for DD3 City. Probably, I mean, if I wanted to, I could I have health packs for Dark Dimension. I think I could use if I wanted to finish Cosmic today. I could finish it today, but I don't have my Ms. Marvel and my Spider-Man done yet. I think it's probably going to take me another week or so. So I'm really just not in any hurry. I will probably save that health for when I make it into the city nodes and speed up the process and try to get those DD3 rewards as quick as possible. So yeah, I think that was part of another offer that I bought earlier in the year or late in 2020, and I kind of saw the long-term need for it, and I'm still kind of sitting on those. I also didn't really realize, I should have realized this, but it's probably just because I probably just was never really in a position where I needed to use it, but I never realized until the last couple days that there is Dark Dimension health in the daily challenges. So yeah, I mean, there's just not really any incentive for me to use that stuff at this point. We'll take a look at RTA real quick. Again, I don't mind this game mode. I know that it frustrates some people, but I have a pretty wide roster. I can just make it work, and I like the challenge of looking at the objectives and trying to figure out, what team's going to help me finish everything most efficiently. And then rewards, like I bought the premium rewards. Like, I have no problem saying that I spent $20 on that top level, because look what happens when you get out here. About here, that top row, you start getting those gear tier 15 pieces, and that's kind of at a premium to late game players right now. It takes like 2,000 of these to get through Dark Dimension 4. I'm not joking. I've done the math. Other people have done the math. Actually, the way I'm doing it, it's probably closer to 2,500. So it's just going to be a really slow process. DD4 is probably going to take a good chunk of the year for me. If I had to guess, it's going to be. I'm going to do it very gradually. I'm not trying to do it efficiently as possible. I'm looking at what makes the most sense for me to long term. And again, I kind of have a strategy for that. But yeah, so looking at what would work here. If I had Yelena up and running, I could look at the skill military. Let's just do that. I haven't really played with Red Guardian yet, so we're gonna just try something here. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Is there another? Oh, I could use Winter Soldier. I could use War Machine. What's the synergy here? Alright. Bear with me, I have not used Red Guardian, so I am going to play this one out and see how it goes. I do auto a lot, which is sort of I'm sure that's frustrating to other people. It's frustrating to me some of the time, so I don't know how they can combat that, but again, that's just my play style. I just like to see what the computer can do some of the time. I know how the characters interact, I know what works well for them, what's a challenge, and some of the time I just like seeing which AI is better at the end of the day. So we're going to see what happens here. So this is gonna not be fun because it's going up to a very big Doc Ock. It's a little bit of a punch down for me, but because he's got Zemo, he's gonna go first. And I think between Zemo and Crossbones and Ock, I think these guys are just gonna take me out. The only good thing that I have going for me is that Red Guardian is gonna do the taunt first to start off with. So he's gonna take damage from Zemo, which That's actually pretty good. We'll see how this works out. See, this is the frustrating part. Like, he probably loaded into the page. He hasn't hit auto yet. Come on. Sleeping. So yeah, he took the Zemo hit. I can't tell if this guy's playing yet. I don't think he is. He could be. Looks like it's probably auto. So yeah, I got murked by Crossbones, and that's one of the reasons why that's a character that I'm considering again. I really liked that move in early game, and I think it's back to the point where it would probably scale really well. He's kind of in that neighborhood with Juggernaut, with people that I really liked early in the game, and I'm gonna get back to. I'm just flipping this to auto. I'm not gonna win this. I wasn't really trying there. I mean, really, what I wanted to see was how Red Guardian worked, and I don't have him up at a good enough level for this military team. Captain Marvel, Punisher, War Machine are all, toward the high end of my roster. This just wasn't a very good matchup. Not that the matchmaking was bad, it just was not a favorable matchup.
Turn down nice. Street too small. Huh?
Yeah, he's definitely. I don't know if he's. Maybe he might be trying to figure out his Doc Ock. Who knows? But it doesn't seem like he's going very quickly. He's probably trying to figure out his Doc Ock. I don't know. That was a weird team. So he's kind of doing what I think I'm probably gonna end up doing, is focus on Doc long term heavily, but I don't think I'm going to focus on the other Sinister Six. I think I'm going to use Doc Ock probably with Ultron. I think that's where I kind of see him fitting in my roster. I don't like how this doesn't go back out. I like it when it goes here and in that middle section. It tells you what objectives you got. And I wish that it always went back to this screen. I usually flip back and forth, but we'll just see what this gets this time. So again, with the way that they restructured RTA this season, they basically took a lot of the knockouts out, which I think people weren't happy about, but at the same time it made sense, because I was getting a lot of people just using Phoenix in their 4 weakest characters. It just wasn't fun. It was good and efficient to get knockouts, but it wasn't fun to play against. So I'm glad that they made some changes. I know that there are some people that aren't happy, but I don't give a shit. Oh, I was looking at the wrong end here. Let's take the buffs off Maul. Some of them anyway. Should have known that he was going to do that next. Take out Stature before she can be used. I don't like that strategy of taking in the weak character. I think if your character's that weak, you just shouldn't even bring them in. But this was a pretty good team. Hela and Mama are just really good, and this just wasn't the right team for this matchup. I'll take out Wasp just to get the one ability used. I don't even know if that'll count toward anything for me. I actually got a lot out of that, although I think that looks bigger than it actually was. My feelings and show my secrets. I got things in my head, but aren't no defeating. So I'm just gonna play right now until I get that mutant weekly objective, and then I'll probably call it a night, or I gotta flip over to raids and look at my raids, but I got a war going on too. Okay, so it's past 8 o'clock, so server reset. So I bought the promo calendar. for silver credits. It's just cheap. I think it was only a couple bucks. Got me 10 credits, nothing special, but I think paired with what I could be getting out of the Chaos Theory in a couple weeks, I could be able to get a 5 red star sooner. So it was just worth a couple extra bucks for me to do that. I like calendars for the most part. As somebody that logs in every day, I don't mind waiting for stuff. Actually, let's use some campaign energy here. I wanna know the angle I live my life from. Right angle or the wrong one that I decide on. Don't wanna beat myself up, I need help up. I guess I didn't do that much today. Or maybe I just didn't have the cores to refresh. I'm running low on cores. It might be. I might throw 10 or 20 bucks at it just to get a little bit of an inventory. I'm running really low right now. I was testing out some things in Blitz and kind of chewed up everything that I had, kind of intentionally, kind of not intentionally. And I need to build back up a reserve right now. So that's all for ISO. And then, so right now I'm working on Ms. Marvel and Spider-Man. So these are the two guys that I need right now to take to get up to G14, Gear Tier 14, T14, Jesus. Gear Tier 14. So yeah, that's what I'm working toward. Like I said, I'm on the last node of DD3 Cosmic, so I'll be moving right into City next. So I'm actually probably timing this out pretty well. I probably timed Cosmic maybe slightly better. Kind of waited a little bit on Bio, just wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. There's an outside chance, so the thing about Spider-Man is I have all of his abilities maxed. So if I were to go say Anti-Venom, who I've got at 6 stars, 3 red, with no max abilities. I mean, it's tough to say. Symbiotes are OP, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I need to hold off entering City the next wave, so I think I'm gonna do it with Spider-Man just to kind of finish him off at this level. I probably won't go any higher than Tier 14 on him, but we'll cross that path when we get to it. I think with the investment that I've made in this character up to this point, I'm probably just going to continue finishing him out. And then, like I said, he's kind of a man without a team. He fits with some Spider-Verse characters. He provides synergy to other Spider-Verse teams. He doesn't really get any of that benefit. So, but I mean, I'm just thinking long term. Eventually, they're gonna do a Spider-Verse team. There's gonna be Gwen. They've already got Miles. Maybe there's Spider-Ham. There's probably Spider-Man Noir. I mean, all those would be really cool. I think when that comes out, I'm obviously going to be really into that. And he's just my favorite iconic character. Him and Wolverine. So, I mean, I'm just... him, Wolverine, Daredevil, Punisher, I mean, those are going to be people that probably never really fall completely out of it for me. And that's just going to be how I play the game. So yeah, may go Anti-Venom, but as you can see, he's pretty far down my pecking order right now. Need to level him up to 70. That's probably my next step. And I mean, I could do these nodes right now, but I'm really not wanting to do any of that until I at least get Ms. Marvel taken care of, which she's close. I only need a couple more things. I don't know if I got all these today. Didn't do any. And I didn't get any, so whatever. I don't have anything. So I'm waiting right now. Damn, that's what I should have done with those ISO. I am trying to finish off Spider-Man, and I need this one right here. I'm gonna wait. And once I finish off Spider-Man, I think I'm done with ISO. I'm probably gonna hoard it a little bit because I don't really know who I'm gonna finish off next. Actually, I take that back. Thing will be right after Spider-Man, but after that, I've got kind of been doing stars and scrubs. So right now, I'm trying to get anybody that I have at gear tier 15, level 75 or better. Taking them to 3 ISO chunks. I don't know what you call them. And then I'm putting 4 on my higher level characters. But as you can see, I mess with my favorites every day. I wish that they had a little bit better. I mean, they've got lots of categories that you can search by, but I wish that they had another thing like this versus battle favorites, where I could kind of group, do some better grouping. That's why I've had to look at some stuff in Excel versus here on the screen. So really, Thing right there, he's going to get the next round of 4s after Spider-Man. And then probably Thanos and Captain Marvel, but I probably just won't spend anything for a while. And then, like I touched on briefly before, like I don't care about minions. I'm not interested in leveling these guys up. Actually, I don't think I even noticed that I had the Hydra Armored Guard to level 6. I'll probably take him up. I've kind of been leveling the stars up, but what I've kind of been doing just to not spend resources on these guys, I haven't taken them above level 52, and really at level 52, for most of these guys, they've got 1 or 2 nodes that they can't finish off, so that requires level 54. So it's kind of just been, I don't know what you want to call it, kind of like a stop loss type thing in terms of resources. I just haven't been, I never go down to this part of my roster anyway. I'm not interested in spending resources on these guys, with exception maybe Shield Trooper long term, just because I will maybe need a minion to get pulled into a shield team, and he's probably the best minion. And he, in terms of DD4 cost, he doesn't, I think, require any G15s. So I don't know. I mean, maybe long term, but I'm not focusing on minions. This section right here, these are people that I just never really. I either stopped leveling up, or by the time I got to the level, just wasn't really interested in spending the gold to take them any higher. So Guardians have really fallen off. What else? And then I guess Mystique and Pyro are left over from DD2. I haven't really done anything with them for a long time. They will eventually come back into it for me, just because of how high my Magneto is. It just makes a lot of sense for me to bring those people up eventually. I wish that they had done a different version of Pyro, and that he was tech instead of mutant. If he was tech instead of mutant, I probably would prioritize him a little bit more. I don't know if he's got any synergy with Ultron. That's really what I'm looking for right now. I really want kind of a tech team to go with Ultron. I did see either in Blitz or in RTA earlier this week, I saw an Ultron power armor hybrid with the 4 lower power armor and Ultron, which intrigues me. I haven't gone back to look at that yet, but that would probably be a better replacement for my Ultron plus Guardians hybrid. So I got to remember to go back and look at that one. Captain America. I got I got pulled a 5 red star on him. He is one, like, I'm not, until recently, I haven't really been big on protectors. My strategy's becoming more nuanced, so, like I said, I'm thinking about Thor, Widow, and Hawkeye for DD4, so Cap will come along for Wave 1 Avengers at some point. I'm just not sure when it'll happen. Vibranium is one of the tougher materials for me because I have Panther and Shuri at really high levels. Panther, I have his abilities all maxed out. And then I'm also considering Quake. I'm really trying to have 6 Inhumans. Quake was somebody that I liked early on in the game, probably up to about DD2. And fell off a little bit for me, but with the other Inhumans, especially with the Black Bolt that I have at its level, and I also have a really good Crystal, a really good Yo-Yo, and I've gone harder on Karnak than most people probably have the balls to do because he's not the greatest standalone character, but he works really well on Inhumans. He's a good assist, and then I think that there's going to be some interesting possibilities with Longshot and Shatterstar in the Inhumans and Kree. So maybe something like the lower. So let's split Inhumans into 2 chunks, two sets of 3. So the top tier on that would probably be Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, Crystal, and then I guess capos or lieutenants or whatever would be Quake, Ms. Marvel, and Karnak. And I think that lower tier could work really well with Shatterstar and Longshot. So that's one that I've just started to kind of look at. I don't really have Shatterstar and Longshot up to the level that I really need them to. I've almost done it. I've almost used T4s on their passives. I know I'm going to do it. I'm just trying to wait until... I'm going to be more open to taking some risks when I get through DD3. At this point, I'm being really conservative, trying to save those resources to get Spider-Man and Ms. Marvel into their city nodes. And then once I have that up and running, I think that'll probably take me just ballpark 2 to 4 weeks to complete that. Once I have a starting 5 for DD3 City, I'll be free to do a lot more things. I'll probably start looking at my second wave of DD3 Global. I got Sinister up to 14 stars today. He's going to be somebody that I start concentrating on and playing with a lot more. I really haven't played with him a ton, to be honest. So again, no ability materials. I think I have spent promo credits to get him up to 4 stars. He is somebody that I am considering trying to take to 5 or 6 red stars. He's definitely somebody that I want long term. Same thing with Emma Frost. I just recently got her to 5 stars. She's a milestone character. So kind of like Symbiote Spider-Man, I think she's gonna go into the symbiote or into the milestone orb offer after her event, which ends soon. Looks like it ends in 3 or 4 days. So after that, she's gonna go into probably the milestone orb, where Coulson and Symbiote Spider-Man are. So I have no problem with just kind of getting her naturally. I'm not to the point where I can really invest all that heavily in her. I've kind of just I've been going not all out, but I look at the milestones. I try to maximize the milestones. So I'm usually not in the top tier. I'm usually trying to hit that 1.8 million gold usage on a good day, but I probably don't get up that high every day. We just had the payday event, so I know at least this past Friday I got up to milestone 15, but most of the time I'm probably around milestone 11. You can usually get about 1 million gold in a day, depending on what's going on. I usually spend it right away. So I'm going to probably finish this Red Guardian event early. I will probably finish this a day early, which is fine. It means that my save squad, I haven't screwed up I've messed with my save squads a lot this week, so it means that I haven't messed them up enough to. So there's kind of two strategies going on right now. You know, I'm trying to get the most wins that I can out of those saved teams so that I can get these rewards while still trying to place high in the Blitz itself. And, you know, it's kind of more the quality of your wins. So you kind of have two competing strategies. I kind of had a blend of the two. I had reworked my teams earlier in the week, kind of looking at some of my DD3 and DD4 stuff. And then kind of did after I got done looking at all that shit, blew it all up and kind of started over. Kind of went back to some of the teams that I had before. I think if you're a new player and you need to kind of figure out what to do with your save squads, Casino on Twitch or on YouTube is a really good. Actually, his Discord's where you want to go. But he's got a lot of good resources. I can kind of credit him for kind of helping me figure out kind of how to tier or how to order my save squads. I don't know why I did it this way. I kind of always did a bottom-up approach rather than a top-down approach. That's not going to make sense to most people, but it's something that I've changed recently, and I think it's helped my Blitz a lot. You know, going top-down, working with your best teams first. I've had a lot more success with that. I mean, when the Blitz first starts, you want to probably do bottom up, so you can use those better teams at higher tiers. But once you get going and you're in, you know, tier 7 and tier 8, you just want to use, you know, your roster to your advantage. So I think that he's kind of helped me more. Some of the infographics and stuff that he's put out have kind of helped me compare my placement versus what his placement is. And by placement, I mean situating the characters left to right. And yeah, there are some that I've kind of switched around, and I kind of look at the way he has them set up and kind of understand what his thinking process is. And for the most part, I agree with him on a lot of things. I think one thing that I remember that I do significantly different than him is on Yo-Yo. I have Skirmisher on Yo-Yo versus Raider. That'll probably get switched down the line, but for right now, I really like Skirmisher because of that War Offense team that I really like, which is Phoenix, Ultron, Black Bolt, Crystal, and Yo-Yo. I really like, since Yo-Yo goes first, I really like being able to guaranteed put a vulnerable on Call Obsidian. I think there's some interesting things that happen, especially if you get the assist from Black Bolt right off the bat. He can take some of those buffs off of Call, and then with Ultron in there, you know, if everything plays out the right way, Ultron can usually finish him off. And then even if he doesn't need it, especially on lower level calls, it gets him down to enough health that Black Bolt just does his little burp and pops him out of there. I'll do these challenges real quick. Max gold challenge. So I can auto these since I've already done them all. So I mean, there's about 360k gold, and we got at least one gold orb. Well, yeah, just one gold orb out of that. Training. I've just started focusing on some of these recently, just because they don't have a whole lot of value. Look at tier 11 and 12. I mean, I've played the game. I'm a launch day player. I've played the game for 3+ years. I don't these training. What the hell are they even called? Training modules. I don't care about them. Like, I don't need them. I'll show you why I don't care about them. Because look at what I've got. I've got 190,000 at the lowest level. I've done the math before, and it's not something I really am ever really going to have to worry about, I don't think. At least not for a long time. So, yeah, I have not really tried on those challenges to get them up or anything. I did try the other day, and I'm definitely probably stopped where I am. Although these characters look awfully good. I don't remember why I couldn't complete that, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Yeah, today's Sunday, right? So yeah, I got all the rewards going today, right? I feel like that didn't. I feel like they didn't all reset. It's probably because I was playing the game when the server reset. Some of the time you have to close out of the game and get back in for it to kind of readjust. I'm not really worried about that. I don't need to stop the stream to do that. I'll just get that stuff later on. So here's another one. There's really no advantage for me to do tier 12 versus tier 11. The only thing that's different is one additional blue material or blue material ability material. Jeez. But look, I have 30,000 of those. Like, I don't need them. Don't need them at all. I wish that there was a way that I could trade some in. But yeah, I've been obviously playing the game for a long time. So here's where I just realized that, yeah, that's a Darth Health pack. You can use in Dark Dimension. Again, I just don't think that that's ever really been on my radar. Once I blow, I think I have 1500. Do I have 1500? Yeah, I have 1500 right now. And the max you can hold normally is 100. So really, until I spend all those, I'm not really getting any advantage out of those. Once I spend them all, so that'll be 6 extra runs. The 1500 will be 6 extra runs, full runs, through Dark Dimension. So I'm just kind of saving those right now. I've had good luck lately with Elite Fours. When a new character's introduced, I've been opening a bunch of Red Star orbs and using those Elite Four credits to open an Elite Four orb, and I think I've got a 4 or better on all the characters in this release. So Shatterstar Longshot, Kitty, Iceman hasn't come out yet. Kitty, Yelena, and Red Guardian, I've gotten 4 red stars or better. And a lot of them have involved some kind of Elite 4 orb in some fashion. I actually have an extra one right now, but I'm saving it for when Iceman comes around. So I will use that Elite 4-star, which has a higher drop rating on whatever character is being featured. I'll save it for then. So yeah, I mean, out of these, obviously a 4 stars guaranteed. Higher level stuff's in there too. And then, what else was I going to look at? I wanted to see what the odds. One. Oh, well, it's just one, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I guess there's equal chance of all these characters, and only a 0.5% drop. I have been playing the game for 3 years, and I've only got one 7-star that I pulled on Mantis really early, and forced me to go Mantis, which she's probably done for now because I want to use the alien spores on the symbiotes. So I don't regret it. She helped me get through start DD2 before I had Minerva. That worked out really, really well. And so I don't regret it for that. And then by the time I got Minerva, and I think I had Fury and Ultron and a couple others up and running in addition to my OG Brotherhood team, and was able to make my second run through my timed run through Dark Dimension 2 pretty quick. And then you can see on my player logo or whatever in the upper left hand corner, I went through DD2 the 25 times or whatever that it takes to get that little border. I think my best time run was about 4 hours and pretty much did the whole thing on auto. I kind of want to go back through and just play it and just see how the teams compare now, but not a big priority to me at the moment. I also don't want to kind of like start something and not finish it. Not that I'm really trying to do a timed run, but I don't know, at some point I'll probably try it again. What else? So I haven't done many of my wars today. Slacking. I don't really probably even need to do a ton, but we'll see what's out there. That's a beefy black order that I don't want anything of. No part of that. See, there, that right there, that long shot, Shatterstar, Ms. Marvel, and then this person's using Young Avengers, but I think the lower level Inhumans will work there too. Yeah. I don't know if I feel like recording one of my war attacks. I don't really see anything that's going to be, well, this is going to be easy. So I'll tell you what I'm going to use on this. But I can't, I don't think. Where was it? Oh, I guess they're all being used in other... Where was it? Bear with me. Oh, it was this Coulson hybrid team. So I'm trying to find use for Asgardians, Defenders, and Wakandans kind of together. And this was actually working really well in Blitz. I don't remember doing this through my Blitz run just now, but anyway, I can't use it anyway. I'm probably just gonna go muscle this. I'm just gonna throw it on audio. I'm not even gonna think about it. Actually, do I want to use this in a different way? Must be using Captain Marvel on defense. Might as well use power armor then. I'll play this one out. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue, but I need to get a little bit more experience with power armor. I've just kind of recently got Falcon up to a level where I can kind of make use of him, thanks to that. Unfortunately enough, but kind of fortunately, Doom Chapter 3 kind of did what it was designed to do and kind of elevated some of my lower tier teams a little bit. I think I can beat these pretty easy. I'm going to switch it to mid speed so that you can kind of see the visuals. So I don't really need to use Rescue Special. Actually, I'm going to speed it up, especially since I'm talking through it. I guess I'll go with Shuri. Didn't do much. I'm not huge on Ironheart, but I don't have her at the right level yet. I think she's going to be powerful at high red stars. Her ultimate's probably pretty good, but just not at the level that I'm at right now. It doesn't really need to be. I really like that move that Black Panther does, where he gets charged up and then can attack everybody. That's probably why he's stayed in my roster for so long. It's a good thing to have in war. I'm sorry, not in war, just kind of in general. I meant to say raids though. I never really used the full Wakandan team, kind of in the same way that I'm probably never going to use this skill military team. But, you know, whatever. again, I'm doing kind of the boss, boss lieutenant, capo lieutenant boss or whatever, kind of hierarchy, and not really worrying about it. So that was an easy win. I'm also probably benefiting from being at least in the top third of my alliance. I'm probably in the top 5. So, just some of these teams, it's not super challenging, which I don't mind. I kind of like I like being a little bit more casual. This is a good alliance, actually. I mean, it's good mix of different player strategies. I know everybody's high on symbiotes, but good mix, and I've been with this alliance for a while. Good group of guys. I don't know any of them by their real names, just kind of is my interaction with other people these days. Those are the times we live in. The Cream Minion team's not very tough. Guess I can use X-Force on them. It's going to be super quick. I'm just going to auto it. Or yeah, I just changed all this around, so it's a little bit different. That shouldn't have a problem. I think I might play this one out, actually. I haven't really used them much lately. Again, I don't love this team. I'm not going very hard on them as far as a war team, at least in this point, until my alliance is still on the 7 raids at the normal level. Until we're getting close. Until we go to a higher difficulty, though, I'm not really focusing on any war teams. It's just not my strategy. I'm more of a Dark Dimension solo player by heart. Which one of these guys taunts? It's this one. Whatever. Guess it didn't matter where I put the cursor. I don't know if I got full advantage of that. It doesn't really matter. I'm flipping it to auto now. So yeah, I'm to the point where, like, I really like the alliance I'm in. I'm not really even considering leaving, but I do wish that I had access to the next layer of competition. We're getting there, though. It's been fun to kind of grow with these guys, and they're kind of growing at the same pace that I am, and I'm in the right alliance right now. Not to say that it'll be that way forever, but for right now, I'm perfectly happy. I think that's all I'm gonna do for war right now. I will come back to that. Might be done for right now. So right now, my main store strategy is I'm looking for these gear 14 and 15 pieces, or basically 13 through 15 uniques. So I mean, I'd be in the market for buying stuff that's in that Superior Oz formula slot, but I don't really need Superior Oz formula. I already have the G14 node, or G tier 14 node on Spider-Man. I know that there's a couple other characters that use this, like Miles, I know uses this, but with 32, I just don't really think I need it. And I didn't read the blog post on Friday. I was bad about that, but from what I understood through different people on Twitch and YouTube, LMG I think said that I know that there's some kind of skill military event coming, and I think it's going to give you access to a lot more of the uniques and the G15 pieces, which is great. Doesn't really impact me right now. I bought a lot of the Black Friday offers to get those, just because I wanted the added flexibility. I didn't want to be forced to take one character over another. So I really like the flexibility that that's provided me, especially from a planning standpoint, and I don't regret that at all. That said, I don't think that it doesn't really look like there's any. Oh, I'll buy these. That's probably it. So, like, I know some people use cores to refresh the store. I don't think that's a good strategy. I think you should just use your cores on energy. Speaking of, did not go. I forgot about the server reset, so that's why these were available to me before. But I didn't do all these today. That was good. That was a pretty good drop rate. So let's see. Ugh. I could refresh and try to get those 3, but the drop rate's so low. I'd rather probably spend the energy here. Not bad, that was pretty good. There we go. Oh, now I might though, since it's the only piece left. Could do either one of these. Do I even have the cores? I don't think I have the cores. I do. But I don't have the energy. So that'll wait. Yeah, I don't even have any more refreshes, so I can't really do any more energy. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Did what I needed to do, and gonna go find something else to do with my night. This was fun. I hadn't tried to do this before. Seems like this will kind of be something that I try to do again. And if you have any comments or anything, feel free to let me know. And until next time, have a good one.